This documentary explores allegations of psychological manipulation, coercive control, and the exploitation of young influencers. No graphic content is shown, but viewer discretion is advised. Millions of viewers watched their TikTok dances. Thousands of fans dreamed of joining them. Miranda and Melanie Wilking were rising stars on the cusp of something big. They weren't celebrities, not yet. They were just young women with incredible talent, huge ambitions, and a shared dream. And then they met 7 Meters Films. It was presented as a talent agency, a management company promising mentorship, stardom, and life-changing opportunity. But what began as professional guidance slowly transformed into something much, much darker. For the Wilking sisters and others, the dream of fame was about to become a battle for control. On the surface, 7 Meters Films looked like the perfect launchpad for TikTok dancers ready to go mainstream. Their social media was filled with slick videos of intense training sessions, perfectly choreographed dances, and inspiring behind-the-scenes coaching. It was a picture of success, skill building, career guidance, and exciting collaborations with other talented influencers. It was everything an aspiring creator could want. But according to former members and their concerned families, what was happening behind the polished facade was a different story entirely. The promise of fame, they alleged, came at a very steep price. Former associates and worried parents started to describe 7 Meters Films not as a company, but as a cult-like environment. The allegations were deeply disturbing. Young, ambitious influencers were reportedly isolated from their families and friends. Their outside connections slowly severed. Emotional manipulation was allegedly used to enforce absolute obedience, and any dissent or questioning of the agency's methods was swiftly shut down. The promise of a career of TikTok stardom wasn't just a goal, it was leverage. Some former members described a confusing and constant cycle of praise and punishment, a tactic designed to keep them emotionally off balance and utterly dependent, unsure of their own decisions. Fame wasn't the reward, it was the tool of control. At the center of this unfolding storm were the Wilking sisters, Miranda and Melanie. They were talented, disciplined, and incredibly motivated, the ideal candidates for stardom. Their dance videos exploded on TikTok, gaining national attention and millions of fans. But as their public profiles grew, their private lives were allegedly being dismantled. Behind the scenes, they were reportedly subjected to strict control measures from 7 Meters Films management. Reports suggested that family members were deliberately kept at a distance, which only deepened the dancers' dependency on the agency for their emotional and professional lives. Other influencers who resisted or questioned the group's leadership allegedly faced intimidation, emotional pressure, and were systematically excluded. Looking back, the warning signs were there, hiding in plain sight. Despite the constant online exposure, so much was missed. There were social media posts showing clear signs of exhaustion and stress, far beyond the normal hustle of an influencer. Friends and family noticed their loved ones suddenly disappearing from their normal routines, cutting off contact without explanation. Heartbreaking pleas from parents and friends were often ignored or dismissed by industry watchers as family drama. The alleged pattern mirrored classic psychological manipulation tactics: establish authority, enforce isolation, and create dependency. It raised urgent questions about how the glittering world of social media fame can so effectively mask coercion and control. The story finally broke into the mainstream after desperate parents and brave former members started speaking out publicly. Investigators and journalists began to dig into the agency's practices, uncovering a pattern of troubling allegations. Families described calculated manipulation tactics designed to strip young people of their autonomy. Former students provided harrowing testimony to documentary filmmakers. It all culminated in the Netflix documentary, Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, which brought these stories to a massive global audience. The series amplified the scrutiny, sparking a much-needed and long overdue debate about the dark side of influencer culture. Experts in psychology say this case is a textbook example of how manipulation can thrive in the unique ecosystem of social media. The powerful allure of fame and the intense ambition of young creators can be weaponized against them. Authority figures, posing as mentors or managers, can gain immense control by systematically creating dependency. Through sophisticated emotional manipulation, they can isolate their victims far more effectively than any physical barrier ever could. In this alleged scenario, TikTok, a platform built for creativity and connection, became a tool for control, turning dreams into a prison. This leaves us with so many unanswered questions. How many other young, aspiring influencers might be trapped in similar situations, their exploitation hidden behind a curated online persona? How should talent agencies, social media platforms, and families intervene when they see the red flags? What legal and ethical safeguards can we put in place to prevent manipulation disguised as mentorship? And perhaps the biggest question of all, how can we stop ambition and trust from becoming a trap before it's too late? The 7M Films case isn't just a story about TikTok, it's a story about power, control, and the nature of influence in our hyper-connected digital age. The journey of the Wilkins sisters and others serves as a stark and necessary warning, reminder of how easily opportunity can turn into coercion, and how the dazzling glow of fame can mask the darkest forms of exploitation. Thank you for watching. If you found this story important, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden stories behind the headlines.